Okay guys, hello traders, hello everyone. My name is Olimpio Tons and I will be your host today at this Forex Live webinar. Please confirm that you can hear me in the YouTube chat. And first of all, please take a short moment to read the risk disclaimer before we'll get started and before we'll talk about the Forex pairs, about commodities, maybe about cryptocurrencies, indexes, and I'll wait also for your questions in the YouTube chat. So if you have any questions, suggestions, I'll wait for your messages. Okay guys, let's start with US oil and maybe okay, thank you guys. And let's start with the US oil, and I want to show you why I've decided to close the long position at break even at 60.22. As you can see here, the price has increased a little after jumping above the daily pivot, after jumping above 23.6, but unfortunately it has found strong resistance at the daily resistance R1 60.66 and also at the downtrend line. So unfortunately it is risky to keep the long position on oil right now. The volatility is high, so we decided to close so at 60.22 at break even, and maybe we'll decide to go long again if the price will pass above these resistance levels. Maybe we'll take a new trade here today on US oil. Personally, I want to open a trade, at least a trade today during this webinar, and maybe one of these will be here on the US oil. We'll come back to US oil later, and maybe we'll place a trade here, maybe a buy stop from right above yesterday's high, from right above the daily R1. Okay guys, let's start with Euro USD. As you already know from the VIP Telegram group, we have a pending order here on the US dollar versus on the euro versus the US dollar. The price has continued to increase right after the US inflation data was published, was reported, but we could still have here a false breakout. One moment, because I want to move this to the right. Okay. Okay, and as you already know, we have a sell stop from 1.1857 level, and this breakout here above the major medium line. One moment to bring this here. So we could still have a false breakout here above the medium line and right above the daily resistance R1 1.1929. So a false breakout here above could send the price lower again, and maybe this sell stop position could be triggered. Okay, let's take a look also on the daily chart. And as you can see here, the pair has rebounded after failing to reach the 38.2 retracement level. It has found support on the 50% Fibonacci level and now is traded around the medium line and right below the 23.6 level. So a false breakout above the medium line could send the price lower again. That's why we'll keep our sell stop position and if the price will decrease again, if it will invalidate this breakout here, maybe a pin bar like this candle, if the candle closes around this level below the R1, or maybe a bearish engulfing here, or any other reversal pattern could invalidate the breakout and could send the price lower again. So we'll keep this pending position on euro versus the US dollar. And as you already know, one moment guys, the US inflation data has come in better than expected today, earlier today, and the US dollar and the US dollar index, the DXY, could start increasing again after the current drop registered by the US dollar index and by the current drop registered by the US dollar versus its rivals. Okay, so let's take a look here. So the CPI, the consumer price index, increased by 0.6%, beating the 0.5% growth expected by the specialists, by the economists, while the core CPI, the core consumer price index, increased by 0.3% versus 0.2% expected. Yes, we will talk about euro versus the Australian dollar right after euro versus the US dollar. Thanks for your message, Adam. Okay, so these better than expected data could help the US dollar to increase again after its correction, after its retreat, after its depreciation versus its rivals. Okay, so let's go on the US dollar index. Unfortunately, we had a strong drop, but the price is still located right above the daily support 91.95 and also above this 50% Fibonacci line of the ascending pitchfork. Okay, so if we'll have maybe a rebound, a false breakdown, maybe a bullish engulfing here, another upside momentum, another momentum here could bring a sell-off on euro versus the US dollar. Okay, or maybe the price could come lower to test and retest the weekly S1 91.74 before jumping higher. Okay, so personally I still believe that the US dollar index is in a temporary retreat here, corrective phase, before it will jump higher again. Okay, we have here another support, so the price could reach this support area and then to increase again. So a potential upwards movement registered by the DXY, by the dollar index, could bring a sell-off on euro versus the US dollar. We have a strong negative correlation between the DXY and the euro versus the US dollar. Okay, the dollar index drops, euro versus the US dollar increases, and if the index will increase again, then the pair will start dropping again. Okay guys, let's take a look on euro versus the Australian dollar. We have a long position on this pair. Okay, so the price has reached the entry level at 1.5668 level. Now it has decreased a little. Maybe it will retest the upper medium line of the former descending pitchfork. Maybe it will retest the 0.23 level. Maybe it will retest the medium line of the major ascending pitchfork before resuming its upwards movement, its growth. Okay, so we decided to place this buy stop here on euro versus the Australian dollar after the price has jumped above a first downtrend line, above a second downtrend line. It has escaped also from this pattern here. It has tested the medium line and now it has jumped and it could stabilize above the medium line, which could signal further growth in the upcoming period towards maybe the 38.2 and towards the upper medium line. So that's why we decided to place this trade on this pair. Okay, so the price has jumped above the daily resistance around 1.5650. It has reached our entry level. It has decreased a little, but the bias is still bullish and the price could still continue to move higher. Okay, let's talk also about the US dollar, about another position, buy stop, about this buy stop position, pending order on the US dollar versus the Singapore dollar. So as you can see here, the price has registered a strong drop. It has decreased within a major downtrend, but the breakout above the downtrend line has signaled that we may have a potential reversal, bullish reversal. We have an important support between these two levels, between 1.3406 and 1.3386 levels. It has developed, it has printed here a potential triangle, potential continuation pattern, and as you can see here, the price failed here to drop, to approach, to reach the medium line, signaling that we may have an upside breakout here above the upper medium line, maybe a breakout, a valid breakout from this chart pattern, continuation pattern. So valid breakout here, jump above these obstacles, retest could bring an important growth in the upcoming period, okay, in the short term. That's why we decided to place this buy stop right above today's high, right above 1.3437, guys. Okay, so we are still expecting the price to reach our entry level, and I believe that we have a strong support here. Maybe the price will retest these levels if it fails right now to close above the daily resistance, above R1, but the bias is still bullish here and the price could reach our entry level and continue to move higher. Okay, so a valid breakout, an upside breakout from this pattern, from this triangle above the upper medium line could send the price higher in the short term, in the upcoming period. Okay, New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. We'll talk first about our orders, pending orders or open positions. So let's talk here also about the New Zealand dollar versus the US dollar. So we have here another buy stop, pending order. We have an entry at 0.7080. Let's see how the price reacts after it has jumped again above this downtrend line. It continues to move sideways within this range, minor range. It has failed to register a valid breakdown here. This engulfing could signal that the price could jump higher in the short term, and if the price escapes from this range, if we'll have an upside breakout here, a new higher high, the price will reach our entry level and maybe it will continue to increase. Technically, the price has validated this pitchfork. I've selected 3 points here, 1, 2, 3. it has increased a little, it has come back down to retest the lower medium line, and now it could continue to increase toward and approach and reach the medium line in the short term, in the coming days. Okay, so that's why we decided to place a pending order, a buy stop here as well. New Zealand dollar versus the Canadian dollar. Here we have sorry guys, here we have another buy stop. Unfortunately, the price has failed to reach our entry. Now is going down aggressively. That's why I've decided to place a buy stop only right above this former high, 0.8886, right above R3 and far above this upper medium line. Personally, okay, thanks. And that's why I've decided to place a buy stop here. In case that the New Zealand dollar versus the Canadian dollar registers and makes a valid breakout from this pattern, from this pitchfork above the upper medium line, above the R1, so we have only a false breakout for now. A valid breakout here above R1, 0.8862, above this upper medium line could signal that this pair will continue higher and the price will reach our entry level. Okay, I will come with and I will update you if we will close and if we will decide to close this buy stop position. If the price drops below 0.88 psychological level, if it closes, stabilizes right below this former low, if it makes a new lower low, then maybe we'll close this buy stop position and we will try to find other setups. Okay, and let's talk also about the UK 100, FTSE 100. So we still have here a long position, a buying position on this index UK 100, FTSE 100. The price has decreased, has registered only false breakdowns with separation here below 6,880 below this pivot point. Okay, so if it stabilizes right above it, it could continue higher. And as you already know, we placed our stop at break even. So even if the price drops and reaches our entry level, it will close our position at break even. Okay. Okay, thank you, Austin. Yes, I will continue with video analysis, daily video analysis, and I believe that we will make tutorials as well. At least one tutorial every week, maybe on Thursday. So I believe that these videos could be helpful for you. Okay, let's continue, guys. And if you have any suggestions, if you want me to look on any market, please, I'm waiting for your questions, for your suggestions. Okay, let's continue with the pound versus the US dollar. So the price has dropped right below this major uptrend line. It has escaped from this major up channel. It has retested the broken uptrend line, and now it has decreased again. So it's trapped here and is traded within a down channel now. A potential drop, valid breakdown here below the daily S1 1.3677, a valid breakdown here below this former low 1.3673 could bring gold. Yes, we'll talk about gold and also about the GBP versus the Canadian dollar right after we'll finish here. Okay, so a potential drop here, maybe valid breakdown will bring a drop, a further drop towards this downside line of the down channel. Okay, so we'll have to wait here for confirmation as the price continues to move somehow sideways here. It has failed to stabilize right above the weekly resistance, above the 23.6, so a drop here, valid breakdown, could activate a sell-off. Okay, and if we'll have such a trade in the upcoming days, we will send you the signal on the VIP Telegram group. Okay, and personally I believe that only a valid breakout here above this downtrend line could invalidate a potential drop here on GBP versus the US dollar. Okay, let's take a look on gold, guys. Okay, so as I've told you in my previous webinar, live webinar, the price of gold is trapped within a range here, a major range. Okay, so we'll have to wait. Personally, I believe that we'll have to wait for a valid breakout, upside breakout from this range before we'll go long again on gold. Okay. No, guys, thank you for our messages. I'll try to read them while I'm speaking, and I'll try to answer to all of your questions, so don't hesitate to ask questions or to come with suggestions. Okay, so let's talk about gold here. So the price has found strong resistance here at 1755. It has decreased a little, and now it has found strong support at the weekly support S1, also at the daily support. So now it has rallied, but this is not enough for us to consider going long right now. As I've told you, the price is trapped within this range, and personally I believe that only a breakout, a valid breakout here above 1755 could bring a new long potential, a potential new long entry here on gold. Okay, so we'll wait and see here what will really happen. Unfortunately, the price failed here to stabilize right above the medium line of the ascending pitchfork, signaling a potential decline in the short term. Okay, and now it's still traded right below the daily R1 and right below this sliding parallel line. So personally, I would like to wait for an upside breakout here, for an upside valid breakout before I'll consider going long again on gold, even and despite this rally here today. Okay, because we could still have here a false breakout above the R1, above the pivot point, above the sliding line, if the US dollar index will jump higher. Okay, okay, about the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, I didn't made any update on the Telegram group, maybe my colleagues. Okay, we will come back with further details on the Telegram group. Okay, GBP versus the Canadian dollar. So we had here a buy stop, but unfortunately the price failed to reach our entry. Okay, so the price was somehow expected to increase after escaping from this down channel, but unfortunately it has failed here to jump and stabilize above 38.2 retracement level. So now the price could drop deeper if it will drop and close right below the S1, the daily support, and also right below 61.8. Okay, I've told you also when I've talked about the GBP versus the US dollar that the pound could decline again. Okay, so let's draw something here. So we have a temporary range here on this pair, and if the price will register a valid breakdown here, maybe a lower low, if it will close right below this former low, below 1.7153, then it could continue to drop towards 78.6 retracement level and maybe towards the weekly S2 support. Okay, so if we'll have something like this, a new lower low, then the price could continue to drop after its failure to validate a potential increase after escaping from this down channel here. Okay, okay. Okay guys, let's move forward. US dollar versus the Japanese yen. And yeah guys, we had a few losses in the last days and weeks. These things happen in trading, so we're trying to do our best here, and we're trying to find great setups with good risk to reward ratio. Okay, let's talk about the US dollar versus the Japanese yen. And as you can see, we have a retreat here. Because the US dollar index decreases, we have a retreat here as well, and also the Nikkei, the Japanese stock index, has decreased as well in the short term. So I've taken a look on the Telegram groups, and you are wrong guys. We have a take profit reached on a cryptocurrency, so it is not the Australian dollar versus the US dollar, guys. So okay, so let's take a look here on the daily chart. Okay, so the price has decreased and now is pressuring the weekly pivot point 109.33, and if it will stabilize right below it and drop and close right below the former low, then it could continue to drop. This scenario will take shape only if the US dollar index will continue to drop and if the Nikkei will continue to drop in the short term. Okay, so let's take a look again on the DXY, and if the price will continue to drop and maybe if it will approach the 91.60 level, test and retest this static support, former resistance, then the US dollar versus the Japanese yen could slip lower in the short term. And let's take a look also on the Nikkei. Okay, I will delete this from here and let's take a look. And as you can see, the Nikkei has developed a major triangle here, and I believe that an upside breakout from this triangle, from this pattern, will confirm a further increase, and the further increase here on the Nikkei will signal that the Japanese yen will depreciate versus its rivals, versus the US dollar, versus the pound, versus the US, versus the euro. So if the index will continue to increase, then the Japanese yen may drop, may depreciate in the upcoming period. Okay. Okay, let's continue with the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. And let's go back on the 4-hour chart. We have here a strong drop today, and the price is pressuring the pivot point, the weekly pivot point here at 1.2553, also this inside sliding line. But as long as the price is located and traded right above this lower medium line of the ascending pitchfork, it could turn to the upside again. Okay, and personally, and maybe we'll decide to place a buy stop if the price will jump above these former highs. So if the price stays within the ascending pitchfork's body above the lower medium line, maybe a false breakdown here with great separation could bring us a new long entry, a new buying opportunity. And personally, I believe that a new higher high, a breakout, a valid breakout here above 1.2647 could bring one. And if this scenario will take shape, then we will send you the signal into the VIP Telegram group. If USD is bullish and GPI bearish, USD should be super bullish, right? So as I've told you earlier, let's go back. So the price has decreased, and let's go to the DXY. The pair has decreased because the dollar index has decreased in the short term, okay? And also the Japanese stock index, the Nikkei, decreased as well in the short term. So if the dollar index will start increasing again, and if the Nikkei will increase again, then the pair US dollar versus the Japanese yen should increase. Okay. Okay. And let's continue with the US dollar versus the Swiss franc. And as I've told you in my previous live webinar, also in a video analysis, I've told you that the price is traded within a support area, around a support area, and I've told you that we need here something like a potential false breakdown, a pin bar, a reversal pattern before considering going long again on this pair. Okay, so as long as the price is still traded right below this downtrend line, the bias is bearish, even if the price is traded right inside of this support area. Okay, and if the dollar index will jump higher again, then we may have here maybe a bullish engulfing. Okay, I will take a look on the GBP versus Japanese yen as well. You can get the Nikkei by writing. It depends on your broker or it depends on your platform, but you can find it as Nikkei or GP 225. Okay, yes, I've talked about euro versus US dollar, but we'll take a look again on it and also on the GBP versus the Japanese yen. Okay, so we talked about US dollar versus the Swiss franc. So right now we don't have any opportunity here. We don't have an opportunity here. The price is traded within this support area, and maybe a reversal pattern here could signal a potential rebound. Okay, I'll take a look on the euro versus the US dollar again. We talked about it, and as I told you earlier, we could still have here a false breakout here above this medium line, above the daily resistance, above R1 1.1929, could send the price back below the medium line. So that's why we will still keep this sell stop position pending order on the euro versus the US dollar. If the price will invalidate this breakout here, if the dollar index will increase again, then the pair should drop again, and if it will stabilize right below the medium line, test, retest, false breakouts, then it will drop. Yes, we will take a look one moment, and we will place a trade. And we will use a demo account for our trades during this live webinar. Okay, so that's it here. So the euro versus the US dollar could still invalidate this, and if it will drop, stabilize right below the medium line, then it could turn to the downside again. It depends on what will happen on the US dollar index as well. Okay, guys, and as I've promised, and as I've told you, we'll try to find something for today, because I really want to open a trade today, as I promised in the previous webinars. Okay, let's take a look also on the USD versus the Chinese Yuan. Okay guys, and as you can see here, let's take a look on the daily chart. Maybe we'll find something here, or on the US oil. So the price has decreased significantly, and now it has found strong support. Let's draw here a downtrend line. One moment. Okay. It has jumped above the downtrend line, and now it has registered higher highs and higher lows. Okay, signaling that we may have a potential uptrend, upwards movement in the short term, a rebound, a strong rebound. So the price has increased as much as 6.5791. Now it has decreased, but let's take a look again on the 4-hour chart. Now is trapped here within a minor, one moment, within a minor channel between the upper medium line of the descending pitchfork and the inside sliding line, sliding parallel line. Okay, the price failed to approach and reach the medium line, so it could register an upside breakout right above this upper medium line. Okay, so a breakout from this descending pitchfork through the upper medium line could bring a long opportunity here on this pair, okay, on the US dollar versus the Chinese Yuan. Okay, so we have strong support here around the daily support, 6.54 psychological level. We have also here the 38.2 retracement level, and personally I believe that something like this could bring us a new opportunity. Yes, a buy. So we could place a long setup, a buy stop on this pair, maybe from right above this former high. If the price continues to move sideways, and if it jumps above the upper medium line, if it makes a new higher high, if it jumps above the daily resistance, it could continue to move higher. That's why we could place this setup, and we have to find a target as well. So we could set a target here at the upper medium line. One moment, guys, and let's open. I'm glad that you're starting to use pitchfork. You will need to use it along with other instruments, trading tools, indicators, to get the best entry and exit levels. Okay, so let's place this buy stop also on a demo account. One moment. US dollar versus the Chinese Yuan. So we'll place this buy stop and we'll talk about it in the upcoming webinar, and we will see if the price has reached our entry level and how it goes. Okay, so we have a buy stop at 6.5638. Okay, our take profit 6.6614. Okay, and also our stop loss. Personally, I'm using for these webinars a demo account at AvaTrade. Okay, and our stop right below the former low and right below the weekly support, 6.5329. Okay, 28 actually. Okay, and now personally I will use here, I will risk %1 on this trade from my demo account. So one moment. Okay, now I'm using a demo only for these webinars, but maybe we will place these trades also in our real and live accounts. Maybe in the upcoming webinars I will have to talk with my colleagues, with my superiors, before taking these trades in the live accounts. But maybe we will open these trades also in the live accounts. Okay, so we place the trade, the buy stop here on the US dollar versus the Chinese Yuan, and we will talk about this trade, this pending order, in the upcoming webinar on Tuesday at the same hour. And let's take a look also again on the US oil. Yes, the price continues to stay right below this downtrend line, below the daily resistance, and maybe if we'll have a valid breakout here right above this one, above the R1, then the price could continue to increase. Okay, okay guys, if you want me to look on other pairs or instruments, let's take a look also on Bitcoin. And if you remember, I've told you in the previous week in my previous webinar, live webinar, that Bitcoin is still bullish and that the price could continue higher. It has reached a fresh new all-time high today. So Bitcoin has increased as much as 63,705. Today it has increased a little, but I've told you in my previous webinar that its failure here to retest the uptrend line could bring a new upside momentum. And now if it will consolidate here right above the former high, right above the all-time high, previous historical high, then we may have a new long opportunity here. Okay, so the price registered an aggressive upside breakout through the warning line above the weekly R1 and also above the former historical high, signaling that it could continue to increase towards this upside line of this potential rising wedge. Okay, Ripple, one moment guys, let me take a look here on the daily chart. And we had something here. Okay, so let's go back here on the 4-hour chart. So if you select here 3 points 1, 2, 3, we'll have a descending pitchfork, and as you can see the price has decreased, has reached the medium line, the first target. Yes, we will talk about the US 100 as well. I've told you, Adam, I've told you earlier about gold. Personally, I would like to wait and see if the price will jump above 1,755 before going long again, but I will take a look again and I will explain you again. So we had here a descending pitchfork, and as you can see the price has registered a valid breakout here above the upper medium line, signaling a potential increase on Ripple. Okay, so here we had a first signal that the price could continue higher, valid breakout above the 150% Fibonacci line, and very important, the price has ignored the former highs here, confirming a strong upside movement, upward movement. Okay, so the current growth increase was somehow expected after the price has taken out all these obstacles, right? And now is traded right above the weekly R1, 1.6905. okay, and if it stays right above it, it could continue to increase towards the R2, towards 2.00 psychological level. Okay, and you should know that as long as the price of Bitcoin continues to increase, the altcoins will increase as well, and the Ether will increase, the Ripple will increase, the Litecoin will increase as well. So the perspective is bullish on cryptocurrencies right now. So as long as Bitcoin continues to increase, the major cryptocurrencies will increase as well. Okay, US 100. And let's take a look here. So as I've told you in my previous webinar, the price has decreased within a descending pitchfork, but now it has registered a valid breakout above the upper medium line, signaling that the index could continue to increase. Okay, as you can see here, the price has jumped above the upper medium line. It has registered a small drop. It has jumped back above it, test retests, and this one here, this 4-hour candle that closed earlier, signaled a further potential increase on the US 100 index. Okay, so the bias remains bullish and it could continue to increase. Okay, with potential targets at R1, R2, okay, as long as it stays above the upper medium line, above this former resistance here. Okay, and let's talk again about gold. Adam asked me about any opportunity on gold today, and as I've told you earlier, the price has decreased, has found strong support here at the weekly support, the daily support, and now is pressuring the weekly pivot point, also the daily R1 resistance, also the 1746 static resistance. So as I've told you earlier, personally I would like to see something like a breakout here, maybe above the medium line as well, but above the R1, above the 50% retracement level, above 1762. So a valid breakout, these resistance upside obstacles could bring a new long entry, a new buying opportunity, as the price will escape from this range. Okay, so that's why personally I would like to wait for such a signal. And as you can see here, the price has escaped from the descending pitchfork's body, signaling that we may have an important and strong growth in the upcoming weeks. It has jumped above the upper medium line. It has failed here to come back to test and retest it, signaling strong buyers. But as I've told you, personally I would like the price to jump close and stabilize above these levels before taking a new long position. But if this scenario will take shape, we'll send the new buying signal on the VIP Telegram group. Okay. Okay guys, that's it for today. Don't forget that you can join our VIP Telegram group by accessing this link here, Learn to Trade Go Premium. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also you can visit our website. For today,